Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Being Podcast, a safe space I have created for us to come to share with each other, to discuss, and to tweak if we need how we believe, engage, innovate, navigate, and gain in every area of your lives. I am your girl, Jada, your host, and thank you for being here, tuning in week after week. It means more than I could ever really tell you. So just know I am very grateful. So I hope you had an amazing week last week. I hope that you have thought about that one thing that you're going to get after and start to, incorporate and get after and manifest into reality. If you didn't listen last week, I talked about going to the Janet Jackson concert. And not only that, yes, it was great to see her, but also to make and spend time with other mommy friends, for me to ensure that my babies were well taken care of, that my husband was good to go, and for me to do something for me. It was something that I shared that had been on my vision board for a couple of years, coming up on a couple of years. And it was really my first step into making that become, a reality for me, to be able to say, Jada is going to do something for Jada and she's not going to feel guilty for it and it's going to be okay. Yes, I just talked about myself in the third person, but that's what I talked about last week. And I hope that you have done something, even if it's just, hey, I'm going to lock the bathroom door and go and enjoy a shower by myself. If you're watching, you see me raise my hand. If you're not, just know I'm raising my hand because your girl has started to do that too. I'm like, I don't have all night for y'all to figure out how to go to sleep. Y'all stay here. Mommy will be back, right? Because my husband, I know he has his eyes and ears on them as well. But I take that time now because it is so vital for us to make sure that we are pouring into ourselves daily, weekly, whenever that needs to be for us to continue to do the things for everybody else. So, with that being said, I wanted to circle back a little bit and talk about the art of communication, right? Because it's one thing to think about who you are, who you desire to be. It's another thing to visualize that and see that coming to fruition. But it's another to be able to, communicate that not only with yourself, because yes, we all have those negative, limiting thoughts that come in our mind, no, who said I can do this? What makes me worthy to do this? I mean, I wanted to have the career and I wanted to have the kids and I wanted to have the marriage. So now who am I to say that I want something for myself? Like, we have all of these. Okay, maybe those are just for me, but we all have our own little thoughts that come in and plague us that often makes us play it small or to try to play it super safe, or to not do it at all, right? Because we're worried about what someone's going to think or what someone's going to say. Or, as I've said, if you're the one who thinks that in order for something to happen, that you have to do it, you're going to probably negate the things that would personally feel good for you because you're busy taking care of everything else that demand your attention, whether that's self-inflicted or, self-imposed or put on you. So I am now saying we have to understand that we need to communicate not only to other people, but first to ourselves. That we have to know that when those negative thoughts come in, that we know that we are worthy. We know that we are deserving. We know that doing whatever the thing is not only going to benefit us personally, but it's going to benefit everybody else around us because we are then better versions of ourselves, right? We are then working at our highest peak. We are just good to go. We're refilled and refueled and rejuvenated, as I often say, recharged to get after everything else. And people will see that because a happier you is going to make it happier for them. So first, yes, we have to give ourselves grace. We have to understand that we can't be everything to everybody at the same time. And we have to be okay with that. Like, unless you have a cloning machine, and if you do, please let me know because I could probably benefit from it. I don't know if the world would want that, but we can't be everywhere at the same time. It's just impossible. So we have to just be okay with knowing that when we show up, wherever we're showing up, that we're giving that 100%, and everything else, as long as we take care of that or know that it's taken care of, it too can flourish. And we should get there without feeling guilty, whether that is you making yourself feel guilty, whether it's society, maybe it's family or friends. Like, we have to learn that we can only do so much. But if we are doing the things that are true to us, who cares what other people say? Who cares what other people think? Because we know that we're taking care of what demands from us to be taken care of. So, first, how are you talking to yourself? And let me tell you something. Your friend here, yes, I'm saying y'all are my friends. Your friend here is not perfect by any stretch. I will never be. I am not aiming to do that anymore. I often show this. If you're looking, perfect is boring. I've had to overcome that feeling of like, oh, I have to be perfect for it to be right, for it to be successful. It's not about being perfect, but it's about showing up and being true to myself and authentic enough to myself that other people can see that and they will appreciate it. It's about setting those boundaries, not only with myself, but with other people, right? But it starts with us first. So, how are we talking to ourselves? Are we, saying, no, I'm not deserving of that? Or, no, no one's going to want to hear me? Or, I have no value? Like, how are we showing up for us? Because whatever we're saying inwardly is going to show outwardly, right? So when I say that your friend here is not perfect, I still have those moments of doubt. I still have those moments of fear. But I can tell you this, I am working on that every day to give myself grace, to give myself space, even, like, right, like, I can't get to everything at one time, but if I have a plan, if I'm communicating that and I understand, and then even being flexible enough if it doesn't go the way I've set out for it to, then that is okay too. So how are we talking to ourselves? And I will share with you, I mean, even here recently, I've been doing more working out. And I did a 3-week challenge, and we had accountability partners, and we had this whole community, and it was beautiful. And it got to the point, y'all, where I really was like, no, I'm looking forward to that 30-minute workout for me to go and just move my body and to sweat and to know that I am doing this in a community and like other people are experiencing this as well. So I started doing that. And now that's becoming a part of my life, right? Because these are things like when we're looking at who we are, our goals, our dreams, where we want to go, it's not quick fixes. It's what are we really trying to establish for our lives? So, me starting to work out, whether it's a challenge or whether it's the accountability partner, like, hey, girl, did you work out? It becomes a part of my life. So, in doing that and in sharing that with other, women who may think that it's impossible to find time for yourselves, I'm here to tell you that it is not. It's all a matter of what it is that you really truly desire. If you have any questions, let me know, because I would love to share that with you and have you on that journey with me as well. But I had times where people are looking at me and they're like, "Oh, Jada, you look great," or "Oh, you did your hair different," or and I'll be quick because I'm still working on this programming of my mindset. I'll be quick to be more negative than positive. And I have literally stopped myself in the middle and said, "You know what? First, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging and thank you for sharing it with me, because it's easy for us to go to, oh, this old thing, I've had this forever, or whatever it is, or, oh, I was in more shape when blah." Ladies, I am not telling you something that I promise you I'm not telling myself. We have to stop with that. And we need to replace that with the positive affirmations. And especially if someone is noticing it and pointing it out, receive that. Because as I've said, and it was said to me by my parents, like, people are watching you and you don't know who they are. You are influencing, you are impacting people all the time. So if someone, whether it's a friend, whether it's someone that maybe you work with, maybe your acquaintances, like receive that. Receive that because you are amazing. It's just us in our own heads to be like, oh, well, I'm not at this level. We're not striving for perfection, ladies. That is not what this is about. This is about those small steps that we are taking to lead to the big changes, to lead to that place of fulfillment that we're trying to reach. And we never make it, right? Because once we do eventually get there, then we should be trying to do a little more. Or maybe we change course and do something different. But it's not like the be all end all, but let's enjoy the journey as we're getting there and taking those small steps that are leading to the changes that are leading to the lifestyle changes. So, how are you talking to yourself? Are you appreciative that your body is able to move? Are you appreciative that you are able to run around with your kids if you have them? Are you grateful that you have the financial means to buy the food that you would like to prepare for your bodies? That's my next step that I'm trying to get to. I have the water intake. I have the working out. I have, my Apple Watch so that I am getting my steps in. I have my my inner circle of people that stay on me to make sure I'm doing what I've set out to do. And then even on the days where I may not reach it, it's like, all right, that's cool. Let's reset and we're going to get after it the next day. Because again, life happens. Again, we are not striving to be perfect, but how are we communicating to ourselves? And then in that, like your goal, if you're saying, hey, okay, like for me, let me find a good goal. I would like to have clearer skin, right? Because your girl over here, I have some acne scars and this and that, right? So I don't have like a deadline for that. I'm just like, okay, where are the products that I need or what research can I do? I just recently found something out on TikTok and I can't remember the name, but where you do like the different things, a cycle or something with your skin cycle, something where you're doing different things. So I might look into that and see if that's something that might be beneficial for me. But what I'm saying is, I'm not going to just think overnight this is going to happen. It's going to be trial, it's going to be error, but it's also going to be, hey, Jada, for you to relax, you like to get facials and massages. So now I'm able to combine those, right? So it's something that is reaching an end state, like a clear face, but I'm also getting to relax in the process. I am making time for myself in the process. It also makes me say, okay, you really do need to get after drinking this water more, because I am addicted to caffeine and sugar. I know that's something else I will work on down the line, right? So understanding that our shortcomings, they don't make us less than, they just give us something we can strive for. But how are we talking to ourselves? So I'm not like looking myself in the mirror like, oh my God, Jada, you got another pimple, which I do. If you see me, you see my little friend on my face. It happens. It's life. But then I can sit there and say, okay, so what did I do leading up to that? So that's just an example. Like, what is a goal that you're trying to get after? It's not going to happen overnight. And if it does, I'm not sure how sustainable it is, right? But if there's something that you want to get after, whether it's okay, you want to lose 5 pounds, whether it's you want to eat healthier, whether it's you want to exercise more, whether it's you want to journal, you want to just find 30 minutes in your day to get back for yourself. You are able and more than capable of doing that. But you have to talk to yourself in a way of like, this is my goal. Here is my roadmap. Here are the steps that I'm taking. And you're trying to get there. And you have someone to help keep you accountable. As I always say, I am a life and success coach. If you need help with that, reach out. Let me know. I am here to help you in any way that I can to get you to those end states that you're trying to reach. But yes, we have to be, you read it, you see it, people say it like, if you talk to yourself the way you talk to your friends, would you be okay with that? And you should, because I'm sure you're pouring into your friends. I'm sure you are supportive of your friends. I'm sure that you are there to cheerlead them and to just help them as they are trying to reach their goals. So what happens when it comes to you? Hmm? Are you waiting for them to do the same in return? Are you waiting for someone else to come in and have to encourage you and motivate you, which is perfectly fine because I love being a cheerleader for people and for getting them to see their potential and finding those roadmaps and those steps to get them there. I love to inspire. I love to share what I've been through to hopefully help you navigate through that, right? So you can gain in that, as you're being who you're called to be. I am here for that. But I'm also here for you to know that you have so much within yourself to get to your goals. And so it all, like, how are you talking to yourself? What are those thoughts that you're having? And when they do pop up, how are you combating them? Are you falling into those negative thoughts and then feeling anxious or depressed or just unsure? And we've all been there. And big things are scary, right? And new things are scary, but there's ways to work through that. But we have to learn first, communicate nicely to yourself, communicate clearly to yourself. A lot of us, me included, for the longest, we don't have clarity around what it is that we really, really want. Have you ever done an audit on the things that you find come easy for you, right? So that you can get clarity around your your goals and your paths and your desires, because I would start there too, or I would make that a point to look at as well, like what are those things that you're really good at, because then you can gain that clarity and you can come up with a plan of action to get after your goals. So how are we talking to ourselves, and then how are we communicating our desires, our dreams, our goals to people around us? If you have a spouse, if your mom is still here, you lucky lady, depending on the relationship, or your dad. Like, I had great relationships with both of my parents. Or for me, I have my husband for sure. Right? He's my rock. I have my brother who I'm super close with and talk about all the time. But when I'm processing through and communicating and trying to gain some clarity, right? But then when I'm ready to step out on that, how am I communicating to my husband? How am I communicating even with my babies? Because for me, I'm still on this journey, right? And so I will tell my 2.5-year-old and my 6-year-old, like, mommy's not going to be able to receive what you are dealing with right now. And I want you to be able to have your time to work through that. So if they're like crying and hey, I cry too. So if you need that moment, girlfriend, to go and do that, go do that. But then once you have calmed down, come back, because energies do transfer. I'm a believer of that. They transfer. So, and me communicating that, hey, mommy can't take that right now, it helps us to set that ground, right? For me to give them the space that they need to deal with what they're dealing with. Then when they have calmed down, I can then be calm, because I don't want to react to what they're dealing with and their emotion, and they're entitled to have them. It's then my job to help them to work through them, to get to the other side, to start reasoning, because again, they're babies, right? But that's on me to do that. But same with grown folks, right? Because I have dreams and goals personally. My husband has his own dreams and goals personally, although the end states are for us and our family and our community and our babies and our legacies. Like, we have the same end goal, it's just they're different and we approach things differently. But we have to talk to each other to say, okay, this is what you need to do right now, so I'm going to support you in that by doing this. Okay, this is what I need right now, I need you to support me this way. Communicating that allows for both of our crazy busy schedules, because you're talking about a husband and wife that both have 2 careers, plus have outside interests, plus have these 3 amazing babies that we have to care for and raise. So we have all of these moving parts. So we have to, as I won't drop her name here, but a mentor of mine, she told me once, she's like, you have to, because she was amazing in her career field. She was in the military, but she had her career going. Her husband had his career going. And she just shared with me, she's like, you have to learn how to communicate, collaborate, and coordinate. And that's what my husband and I, we do so that we can both move forward to do the things for our families, even though they might be going in different directions. So those are just a couple of examples of communicating. And then for your friends and for your inner circle, that has your back and understands where you're trying to go, because those are the people that are going to help you day in and day out to make sure you're meeting those goals, and they're supporting you in that different way, right? Um, it's amazing. And then lastly, and I'm gonna let y'all go. I cannot believe I've talked this long. Sorry. The last I will mention, and I'll get out of here, are coaches. I am a coach, but I have coaches. I have mentors. I am a mentor. It's imperative to have that support as well, because when you can communicate, even if you have a piece here and a piece there, they can help you to pull that together and to make a roadmap to help you get there, right? And that's crucial, because with scarcity of time and money and emotions and all of the other things, we need to get on with it. A lot of us don't have a lot of time to just try to figure it out. So having those people that you can communicate this to help you to form that plan, it's gold. It's absolute gold. So communication to yourself, to your partner, to your family, to your group of your inner circle, and then to your coaches and your mentors. All of that, I do believe, will help you to reach the goals that you have. And I encourage you to find somebody today. Start with a friend, or reach out to me. Please reach out to me. I'd love to just have a conversation and just listen to what you have to say, and then provide you some feedback, because I want us all to win, because we have work to do. All right. So let me get out of here. Have an amazing week. As my shirt says, if you're watching, follow your dreams. I'm all about that. I'm passionate about that as well. And I will see y'all next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.